We've got all the Dodgers news and notes that you need to know. We've got an injury update. The Dodgers signed someone. They called someone up. There's a lot of news happening right now in Dodgerland. That's coming up in just a second. But first, my name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. And just a reminder for all things Dodger baseball all season long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comments section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. Give me your prediction for the Red Series, and also, what do you think the Dodgers need to do to improve the bullpen? Let me know down below. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. Okay, so buckle your seatbelts because there's a lot happening in Dodgerland. We've got roster moves to get into. LA made a signing. They're bringing up another prospect. We're going to have our 5th debut of the season at some point, hopefully this week. But first, Dodgers-Reds in Cincinnati. Tonight, you have Tony Gonsolin on the bump. And so far, since he's returned, he's looked really good. A 1.77 ERA in 35 2/3 innings across 7 games. Made 7 starts so far. You want to see him reduce the walks. That's one thing I'm looking for from Tony Gonsolin tonight. When the Catman's on the mound in Cincy, that walk rate at 3.3 walks per 9. That's up from 2.4 last season. So you definitely want to reduce that. But I'm expecting another strong start from the Catman. And then tomorrow you have Noah Syndergaard going up against Brandon Williamson. And yes, Williamson is a lefty. We know the Dodgers have had their issues with southpaws in recent years, but LA has picked it up of late. They currently have the 6th highest OPS against lefties this season at 792. Hopefully, they'll rake against Williamson, but the story tomorrow is going to be about Noah Syndergaard. Could this be his last start in Dodger Blue? Will he be looking at an IL stint? Will they DFA him? You guys know my number one priority here is to be honest with you and give you the truth, and the truth bomb on Noah Syndergaard is he has been a bust for the most part for the Dodgers. Yes, he has eaten innings, and yes, there is value to that, but a 6.54 ERA, a 13.95 whip. His WAR is at -0.5. Just to give you some context there, Bobby Miller in 3 starts is already at 1 WAR, so he's already had a better year than Syndergaard in just 3 starts. So hopefully he performs well. Hopefully he turns things around and gets some momentum going. And you look at that Cincinnati Reds offense, they're currently ranked 20th out of 30 teams, but you also factor in it is the bandbox that is the Great American Ballpark. Not an easy place to pitch and get outs. And then in the series finale on Wednesday, we've got a Clayton Kershaw bump day. Kersh coming off a really nice start last Friday against the New York Yankees, where he allowed just 2 runs in 7 innings of work. He allowed the 2 solo home runs, the 1 to Donaldson and the 1 to Stanton, and that was coming off 3 rocky starts by Kershaw's standards. So I'm looking for him to continue on that momentum and pitch like the ace that we saw at the beginning of the season. We're going up against Graham Ashcraft. He has a 6.64 ERA. He's 3-4 in the year, 49 strikeouts. So Dodgers offense, they should be able to handle him. And if recent history is any indication, they should be able to handle this Reds team and win this series. The Reds, they're 27-33, 5.5 games back in the NL Central, but the Dodgers have been red hot versus the Reds in recent years. They swept the season series last year. They won all 7 games and outscored Cincy 52-18. And in the last 10 years, the Dodgers have gone 40-20 against the Reds with a +84 run differential. They're currently riding a 9-game winning streak, including 5 straight wins against the Reds in Cincinnati. So that is dominance by the Dodgers, and hopefully that continues this series. I'm predicting a sweep. I want to break out those broomsticks, but hey, baseball is going to baseball, and you just never know. Okay, now we're going to switch gears and give you all the Dodgers news and notes that you need to know, starting with the Dodgers calling up right-handed pitcher Nick Robertson. The Dodgers tweet out, the Dodgers selected the contract of right-handed pitcher Nick Robertson and optioned right-handed pitcher Taylor Scott. So we're going to get into Robertson in a minute here, but first I just want to say I was impressed with Taylor Scott. I saw him on Saturday at the game against the Yankees. He ended up pitching an inning and 2/3 of scoreless ball, had 2 strikeouts. The sweeper slider, the slider they really taught him, has been impressive, and it looks like he's a guy we could see in the future. But let's talk about Nick Robertson. So Nick Robertson, when he makes his debut, he could be the 5th Dodger to make his debut. And I hear you saying, hey, D-Mac, how could he be his 5th? Because who's the 4th? Well, I'm assuming Johnny DeLuca, who Doc has already said is going to get his opportunity on Wednesday when the Dodgers take on a lefty in Williamson. He'll make his debut that day. And then earlier in the season, Michael Busch, he made his debut in Pittsburgh. Gavin Stone, he made his debut at home against Philly. And then Bobby Miller, he made his debut against the Atlanta Braves. So that's 5 debuts for the Dodgers. I'm going to look it up to see what kind of record that is. So very exciting stuff to get these debuts. The youth movement is real. But Robertson, he's 24 years old, has a 2.13 ERA, and he pitches in the PCL, the Pacific Coast League. And you know that the PCL is a very offense-happy league. It's not too difficult to score runs in that league for teams. Like, even I could probably hit 100. Maybe I could at least get hit by a pitch and get on base. But it's not very difficult to score those runs, and he's put up a 2.13 ERA in 25 1/3 innings, had 37 strikeouts to just 7 walks, and 4 of his 8 runs allowed this season, they came in just 1 outing on April 19th, and since that outing, he's at a .57 ERA. Opponents are slashing 148, 246, 185 against him, and he's a guy that has the potential to have an impact in this Dodgers bullpen because this Dodgers bullpen has not been very good. This isn't your Dodgers bullpen of the past that's been lights out, that's carried this team, that's been an asset, that's been a strength. No, this Dodgers bullpen has been one of the weakest it's been in years. The bullpen so far this season has posted a .464 ERA. That's 26th among 30 teams in the bigs. Their .438 FIP is 24th out of 30 teams. Their strikeout rate is 17th in the league at 24%. So this is not the bullpen that we've seen in years past. And hopefully they're going to bolster it. Hopefully they'll go out there and make a trade. But I'm all for seeing some of these young guys to see if they can come up and have an impact. And he's also increased that strikeout rate, and that's one thing that you want to see. You want to see a guy that can come up and miss bats, because as we've seen with Brusdar Graterol, you put the ball in play, bad things are eventually going to happen. And he's increased his strikeout rate this year from 29.3% to 37.4%. He's also shaved that walk rate from 10.1% to 7.1%. So I'm excited to see him. I think there's a chance that he could be a sneaky impact reliever. I'm very encouraged by what I've seen with him this season, and I hope he makes the most of his opportunity. And he, of course, he takes the spot on the 40-man roster that was left by Luke Williams after he was claimed by the Atlanta Braves. So good luck to Robertson. And the next we're going to talk about the Dodgers signing Ryan Brazier. Now, you know Ryan Brazier, if that name rings a bell to you, that's because he was a member of the 2018 Boston Red Sox. Is this the Boston Dodgers with Mookie Betts and JD Martinez? No. I mean, look, Ryan Brazier was a part of that team, and he's a veteran, and he's a guy that has struggled so far this season with the Red Sox. He had posted a 7.29 ERA, a 5.73 expected ERA in 20 games. He had 18 punch-outs to 9 walks in 21 innings for the Sox this season before they released him on May 21st. And even when he was struggling, he was still dominating right-handed hitters. And that, to me, is what the Dodgers have identified in him, because so far against righties, they're slashing 208, 296, 271, and he's striking them out at a 27.8% clip. So that, to me, says that's some value. He can get out righties even at the big league level with consistency. And for his career, he's always had success against righties. They're slashing 220, 261, 344 against him. The only issue is the splits aren't good. Lefties, they're hitting 292 off him with a 370 on base and a 505 slug. So I think it's a depth piece, of course. I'm not saying that he's someone that the Dodgers brought in to have a big impact, but he does have big league experience. He has been on a World Series winning team. He has been proven to be effective against righties, so he has that specialist role down. And in 7 Major League seasons with the Angels and Red Sox, he has a 4.45 ERA, a 3.81 FIP, and 218 2/3 innings with 218 strikeouts to 69 walks. Giggity. Now, if we're playing a game of something, nothing, or everything, this falls somewhere in between nothing and something. It's not a complete nothing burger. It is a burger. There's just not a lot on it. There's not bacon, jalapenos, and cheese, all the good stuff, avocado. No, it's just a dollar menu burger. You're basically getting 2 buns, no sesame seeds, and just straight up meat. So it's not a lot, not a big impact signing or anything like that, but I think it is an intriguing signing in that he has proven to be effective against righties, and we'll see what he can do. Now, the Dodgers have made some other signings. Alex Friedman, he tweeted out, the Dodgers have made a couple of notable minor league signings. 11-year MLB veteran outfielder Cole Calhoun has joined OKC in El Paso. and is in the lineup tonight. Had been with the Yankees AAA team until recently opting out. So that one's very interesting. That's a name that you'll recognize. And he would also go on to tweet, Dodgers also signed left-handed pitcher Mike Montgomery to a minor league deal. He spent part of 6 seasons in the majors, last in 2020, most notable for recording the final out of the 2016 World Series with the Cubs. LA area native, has joined OKC, but TBD on first games. So you'll recognize both of those names. Cole Calhoun, of course, was with the Angels for 7 years. Montgomery, as he pointed out, he made the final out of the 2016 World Series. So I'm sure he'll connect with Jay Hay and they'll reminisce about that. But the Dodgers, they are active. They're trying to get as many depth pieces as they can. They're trying to load up. Like I said earlier, if this is the beginning of COVID, they're going down those aisles and they're trying to get all the toilet paper they can, because if guys go down, if they suffer more injuries, they know that they need guys to turn to. They also know that they can optimize guys. They can get guys back on track, and they've identified certain attributes, certain talents in these guys to say, hey, they can still contribute at the big league level. I always say there's no one random in the Dodgers organization. Everyone is here for a reason. Doesn't mean they're going to hit on everyone, but it means that they've identified potential. They've identified something that another organization could not fix. The Dodgers, they have the tools. They have the coaching. They have the development. They have the science to fix guys, and hopefully we'll have some success stories with some of these guys. Just sprinkle that Dodger dust on them, that Dodgers magic, and hopefully they can become key contributors if they get their opportunity. Now, finally, we got an update on Julio Urias, and I'm told that the Urias is expecting to make a start in the Dodgers weekend series against the Phillies. That was the word this weekend at Dodger Stadium, and a few minutes ago, Jack Harris confirmed it on Twitter. Jack Harris of the LA Times tweet out, Julio Urias threw 2 innings of live BP, then 2 more in the bullpen. Dave Roberts said they expect him to start on Sunday in Philadelphia. TBD who he will replace in the rotation. So we'll do a whole video on who he's going to replace, but Julio Urias, he's been dealing with that left hamstring strain. He's been on the IL since May 20th, and in his last outing, it did not go very well. He allowed 4 home runs in 1 inning. He was the first Dodger to do that since Ben Wade in 1954. So that's the wrong side of history that you want to be on. And so far as this season, he hasn't looked great. Let's just be honest. He has not looked like an opening day starter. He has not looked like the Urias. He has a 4.39 ERA with an 11.57 whip. The fastball command hasn't been good. The slurve command hasn't been good. I think there's a chance that he's been dealing with nagging injuries and maybe compensating a little bit. And I think his mechanics have taken a hit. But another big issue is the home run ball. He's surrendered 14 home runs so far this season. That's tops in the National League. So you wanted to keep the ball in the yard and be effective. Because look, last season he finished 3rd in the Cy Young Award voting, had a 2.16 ERA. That ERA has ballooned to 4.39 in 55 1/3 innings. And we know how big and important this year is for him, considering it's his platform year. It's his contract season. He's going to want to get it back and get his year back on track. So he'll be ready to go Sunday, and it was really cool watching him throw off the mound on Saturday at Dodger Stadium, because they have all these cameras and technology where they can see if his motion's right, if his delivery's right, and they're saying that that delivery is back where it needs to be. So I'm excited about Julio. I think he's locked in, he's focused, and I'm expecting ace-level performances from him for the next several weeks leading to the rest of the season. So let's put that in the ether. Let's manifest that. But let us know down below in the comments section, how are you feeling about some of these signings? Are they something, nothing, or everything? And give me your predictions for the Red Series. Will the Dodgers sweep? And most importantly, how can they fix the bullpen? Because the bullpen has had issues. My opinion, it's a combination of internal options, but going out there and exploring the trade market. I want to see Liam Hendriks in Dodger Blue. I'm releasing a video on that in the coming days, so be on the lookout for that. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the fastest growing Dodgers YouTube channel, the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel, Dodgers Nation. Tell all your friends that are Dodgers fans to subscribe, and hey, go create YouTube accounts for them and just subscribe. Hey, that would appreciate that. No, I'm just playing, but definitely spread the word. And because this whole entire channel, all the live shows, it's all about you guys, and we're trying to get you guys guys all the info and the best Dodgers content in the game. So definitely get those subscribers and appreciate it. If you really want to support the channel too, like and subscribe. Go feed the algo. But let us know down below. Subscribe to the channel. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.